In medieval England, there was a job so disgusting, so humiliating, so absolutely unhinged, that the richest, most powerful nobles in the entire kingdom begged for it, fought for it, lobbied for years just to get it. And no, I am not joking. The job was called the Groom of the Stool, and their duty was simple: help the king sit on his royal toilet, hand him warm water to clean up, and then wipe the king's backside. Now here's the part that will genuinely break your brain. These were not poor peasants forced into this. These were lords, dukes, noblemen, guys with their own castles, their own servants, their own armies, and they wanted this job. So why? Because in a royal palace, the hardest thing in the world to get was private time with the king. You couldn't just walk up and talk to him. There were guards, ceremonies, protocols, layers of bureaucracy so thick that even generals had to wait weeks for an audience. But the Groom of the Stool? He was alone with the king every single day, in the most private moment of his life. And so, the king talked about wars, about politics, about enemies, about secret plans. The groom became the king's most trusted confidant, the one man the king spoke to freely. And what happened to that man? King Henry VIII's groom received land, gold, and real political influence. King Edward VI's groom helped shape actual government decisions. And one groom, for Anthony Denny, was so trusted that he was given the king's dry stamp, a stamp of the royal signature. He used it to sign official royal documents. The man who wiped the royal backside was signing laws for England. Let that sink in. And now the part that makes this genuinely unhinged as a social fact. Power does not live in the throne room. Power lives in access. 1,000 knights with swords and titles couldn't get 5 minutes with the king. But the groom, he had the king's ear every morning without asking. Your modern version of this? The assistant who reads every email before the CEO does. The intern who grabs coffee with the manager every morning. The junior dev who sits next to the founder. Nothing has changed. Literally nothing. Except the cloth. And the final fact that will ruin you? When King James I came to power, he didn't appoint one groom. He appointed 4. Because by that point, it had become the single most competitive position in all of England. Men who owned castles, men who had everything, were standing in line, holding a cloth, waiting for their turn. History is disgusting. History is hilarious. History is just us doing the same dumb, power-hungry things over and over again in fancier costumes. If this made you feel better about your own job, drop a comment. And if you'd actually take the groom position for the access, for the power, honestly, respect the grind. Like, subscribe. The next one is even worse.